And as far as the checking stuff, I mean, I'll use my bowling background. When we go to bowl big tournaments, especially like the national tournaments, something like that, you had to have your balls weighed. You had to.
You knew it was coming.
I'm going bowling, baby.
Lowest common denominator, always. Lowest common denominator. So, yeah, awesome for her. That was cool. That's something you don't see in disc golf. So that was pretty cool news.
I'm interested to see how this translates to other companies looking to sponsor, because you know this, Ronnie, from traditional golf. The sponsorships are how players make their money in golf. So I wonder if this, trickles down and we see more bigger companies jumping in. I mean, chess.com is now with Paul Macbeth. I mean, that's a strange relationship in itself.
It's already kind of happened in our sport, right? I mean, the guys, the premier guys in our sport now make the majority of their income via sponsorship rather than tournament earnings, right? I mean, Ricky and Kristen have both, Isaac, they've all crossed six figures for a season in tournament earnings. But I mean, if you look at the big contracts, far outweigh that. And even that trickles down to even your upper tier pros. Maybe you're not your elite five or something like that, but I think that until you get down the list a little bit, I think that's fairly common and it is something that does kind of translate from traditional ball golf where, yeah, I mean, those guys make millions of dollars in tournament earnings too, but they're making tens of millions of dollars in endorsement deals, the guys at the top.
Well, I think the way that this and chess.com are a little different is neither one of them are disc golf related. You know, Porsche has nothing to do with Frisbee golf. Chess.com, I think I heard an interview, maybe the guys play disc golf, but you know, once we start getting sponsors from outside of disc golf, then you're talking like even these dudes who are making these 6-figure contracts, their main money is coming from disc golf. So
it's coming from within the sport.
Yeah. What's going to happen when somebody they're like Paul had an Adidas sponsorship and I don't really know what it was, you know, maybe shoes or something like that. And I know Eagle has a shoe sponsor, but wait until those companies that have way more money than disc golf companies, you know, invest and find or return of investment for their buck.
I mean, you guys know me. I'm a huge Anthony Barela fan.
No, I didn't know that. When did that? Is that new?
Well, the folks watching may not know this, right? But I'm a huge AB fan, and imagine a scenario when if AB started winning a bunch. That's a person that you could see a sponsor from outside of disc golf, Nike or something like that, just sinking a ton of money into him, right? He's got the look they're looking for. He's got all the swag in the world. And if he could translate that into some wins on the disc golf course, that's someone I could see that could really maybe get one of those kind of sponsorships we're talking about.
Yep. Absolutely.
I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
He's not going to win though.
Oh yeah, he is. He is. Wait until he pops that bubble, and then I mean,
I hope so. I definitely hope so.
The most talented guy out there outside of Simon, in my opinion. I mean, I think he's got the most raw talent. Eagle. I mean, those three guys are the most talented guys on the planet.
Yeah. I will say AB is low key hilarious too. If you haven't watched his videos, dude's just hilarious as well. So
he's super dry.
I love that though. So
he's super dry.
Yeah. All right. So what else we want to talk about in this What's Poppin'? So let's talk Maricopa Open.
Speaking of AB.
I was in the past, you know, there's been some coverage of that, and I'm a big disc golf nerd, obviously, so I watch just about every bit of coverage I can find, and you know, I think it's awesome when Terry Miller does his coverage. It's not a big production. It's here it is, watch it, and here's the commentary. And you know, I wish we could have seen that because this was a big win for Tristan Tanner.
Yeah.
Huge.
I mean, big. Do you guys know how many wins that dude has in his career?
No.
His entire disc golf career. Take a guess.
3.
Exactly 3.
Well, okay. Good guess, Ronnie.
3 wins. And this is his second Open win and his first thing A-tier or bigger. So, you know, for the number 62 rated player in the world to only have 3 wins is crazy. But you know why? He went straight from like intermediate ranks to the hardest level to win.
The tour.
You know, yeah, dude. And that dude, you talk about somebody that's got a lot of skills. That guy can mash a Frisbee.
His arm speed with both spins are absolutely off the charts, right? I think he's one of the only guys that has the speed of like a Barela or a McMahon or something like that. I mean, you're talking about elite top 1% of 1% distance. The dude it's never translated to tour success, with the exception of, let's not forget, that dude was in the mix to win a world championship 2 years ago. He was leading the world championships from the B pool. He was leading the world championships. So, I mean, cool for Tristan. And Yeah, I wish we'd had some coverage of that. It's too bad Terry's over there in Thailand. At least we'll get to see that. But the way that thing ended looked like it was high drama for your mama there at the end. So I wish we could have got to see it.
And from what I've seen of the course and just, snippets here and there from interviews, and one of them was Tristan himself on Nick and Matt, I think, or Stagger Stance. He said it was the course didn't really fit him. He said it was not like a Pro Tour course. It's a course where every single person has a putt on every single hole. So, and for him to win in something like that over some dudes that weren't chumps, there's some good players there. Yeah. For him to win on a course like that has to build confidence for him going into
absolutely
the rest of the tour.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah, what did that top 3 or top 5 ended up looking like, Lucas? I know AB was right there. Marweed was in the playoff. Connor Rock was somewhere in the mix.
Yeah, I don't remember the final, but AB was right there. I think he was third. But yeah, I just want to talk about how, and I've been saying this multiple times on my weekly wrap-ups, but how big and how impressive DGA's pickups have been. I mean, Tristan Tanner, Parker Welk, they both won in Arizona. You had Cole Redalen win this last week as well. I mean, it's just looking good for a really solid DGA team. I'm just saying, if Tristan did this with maybe one of his first rounds with the company, I mean, this was pretty recent, the news with him going to DGA. I don't know if it's just translating, if he's just found a disc that he likes or a putter he likes, right? Because it sounds like he did it on the green. I didn't see the stats on it.
Just looking at the scorecard, man, it looked like I wouldn't call it a pitch and putt, because what those guys play as pitch and putts is not the same as what we play as pitch and putts. But I mean, it was, those guys are throwing less than maximum distance on almost every shot, and they're always getting to the green. I mean, those scorecards were littered with birdies. I mean, I think AB had a 15, somebody else had a 15. I mean, it was a birdie fest, and that dude did it putting the Frisbee. And the whole DGA thing, it's not too dissimilar to Parker Welk. Yeah, Parker's already had a Disc Golf Pro Tour win, but that dude picked up DGA's plastic and the next weekend went and won the Shelley Sharp, which is a big A tier. That's not a nothing A tier. That's one of the bigger early season tournaments. That's not a Pro Tour event.
Well, another thing that could be a reason for those guys' early success is, I don't know much about where Tristan wintered in the past, but he was in Arizona this year. So think about the dudes that are living in Arizona playing, I'm assuming playing with each other, hanging out with each other. You got Tristan, Parker moved to Arizona. Okay. You obviously have AB, you got Drew, you got Rick. Yeah. I saw Jacob Curtis in a few videos, Cupcake. So just imagine all those dudes playing.
Yeah, if you look at their socials, those guys are all out there chopping it up together on either Fountain Hills or Vista what seems like every day. Mm-hmm. So they're playing against they're playing every day in a warm climate through the winter, and they're doing it against some of the best talent on the planet. It has to translate to success, you would think.
Right. I mean, and you and I aren't that caliber by any means, but when we play around, my number one goal is to beat you, Mm-hmm. So imagine that with those 5 or 6 dudes.
Yeah.
Oh, every putt has got to be full, just complete intense tournament mode. And yeah. I think some of those dudes are going to make some noise this year.
Well, you got, Goose, that's another one that's out there doing it with them all.
He's out there with them.
Yeah.
Tristan Tanner, 1,008 rated, shot final round 1057. He shot 1041 for the tournament.
You think there's not some good golf going out there? And I don't mean to bring it back to AB again, but I follow him close. That dude is averaging 1050 for those 2 A tiers and hasn't won. There's some golf going on in Arizona, boys.
Yep, no doubt about it.
Yep,
no doubt about it. Let's talk our last little topic we want to talk with this What's Poppin' segment. In New Zealand, there was a tournament, Taupo Classic, but we had Juliana Korver in attendance and she got win number 250. It's crazy. And she had a huge break from the game, didn't she? At one point.
Yeah, from basically 2007 to 2020, so about 13 years, she played less than 5 tournaments each year. And most of those were, a women's event that was, more ceremonial probably for her. And just didn't play a lot of events. But then, up until that point, she was playing 35. In 05, she played 20 events. And that was kind of the start of her backing off. But then, she just, 17, she played 1, 18, she played none, 19, she played 2. And then in 20, she played 1 event. 21, that's when she kind of came back on the scene and started playing more. So had she not taken 13 years off, she would probably be possibly pushing Brian Schweberger for the most wins.
Well, yeah.
No doubt.
And the difference between, and look, I'm not knocking Schwebby. Schwebby's one of the best disc golfers to ever play the sport, in my opinion. But the difference between what Schwebby does and what Juliana was doing and is doing now is there aren't as many wins to be had, right? She can go out there and play great every weekend and maybe win, maybe get lucky to win once a year now. She's not out there playing the A tiers all over the country. If she wanted to do that, she could go out there and win every weekend, right? So she could do that in open. Not to mention if she wanted to play against her age group, So if she wanted to do that, if she wanted to go play A tier, she could have been close to 400 wins by now if she would have done that throughout that whole period. But
right,
that hits our little wheelhouse in time pretty good. When I was really playing a lot, Juliana was, she was it.
Yeah, dude, and her main competition was probably Dez.
Mm-hmm.
She pretty much took over from Elaine, and then Juliana won hers before Dez got on her roll, I think. But it's just crazy how many wins this gal could have. And on top of that, she's like a phenomenal freestyler with world titles in freestyle.
Yeah.
So if you haven't watched that catch video with Brian Earhart, you gotta watch it. The amount of spin she can generate on a frisbee and not propel it forward it's ridiculously insane. I don't know how the heck she does it, man. It's awesome.
Well, yeah, that she does some ridiculous catches and spins, and the people that can freestyle, that's something I really wish I could do. I wish I could freestyle. It looks so cool.
Yeah, and I kind of get the feeling that she likes freestyle more than golf. But I'm guessing, I don't know how big the freestyle community is. I would guess have to be smaller than disc golf, but sure. It's probably not much money to be made there.
Can't really make a career out of it.
Yeah.
Unless you're like Red Panda and can do it on a 18-foot tall unicycle.
All right. Well, good on Juliana. That's impressive to say the least, with a 13-year stint of not playing and still getting 250. Let's move into a new topic, boys. Let's talk top 5. So every week that we're on, we're going to do a new top 5 segment. Top 5 can be just anything. If you have suggestions on a top 5 that you'd like to hear from the boys, please let us know. But this week, what we're going to do is we're going to do the top 5 courses on tour. And so y'all thought of this ahead of time. You also sent me what you thought the other person would think. So we're going to make a game out of this too. So if you get one of them on the list, you get a point. If you nail the exact spot that it was, you get 2 points. Okay. And we'll just see who kind of turns out up victorious. Who would like to share their list first?
Let's do it this way. You do number 1, and then I'll share my number 1. And after I share my one, I'll share my two, and you can then share your two and then three. So just kind of bounce it back and forth. You cool with that?
Okay.
Like snake
how do you
draft.
want to do it?
Just snake. Yeah, I think that'll be fun. That way we can,
Okay.
yeah, I think that'll work well.
And then
Start at the top or start at the bottom?
Let's start with number 5.
There you go.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go first. Number 5, I got. Now this one's not. I don't know if it's on tour or has been on tour. I've got Milo McIver. I want to play Portland golf so bad. I've never played it, but it's on my list of ones I want to go to. I love watching the tour players play that golf course.
Daddy got some points.
Smitty had that as number 5 for you.
Are you kidding me?
He did.
I'm already sniffing shenanigans.
No, it's not. Okay, so my number
Wendy's not
5
sponsored.
is also in the Portland area, and I went with Glendavere for the Portland Open. I think just the boys playing in those ginormous trees is just, it's just fun to watch, and I bet you those holes feel like they're so far when those trees are 5 times bigger than any trees you're used to.
Lucas saw my list. I had Glendavere as my honorable mention. Yeah, just for nothing else, but it's probably the most beautiful course that the guys play all year.
I agree. I love that course.
Okay, so then number 4 on my list, I went with Milo McIver. Is that what it is? Is it Milo? I just Milo, what I call it.
Yep.
And I don't care if it's the 2 courses. I don't care if it's the combined course. I don't care what it is, man. That place looks awesome.
Yeah.
So,
can you imagine that place, Glendavere and Blue Lake are all within like 40 minutes of downtown Portland? How awesome would that be?
yeah.
You know.
Yep.
Milo's out there a little ways. Milo's out there in the sticks a little bit. Okay, my number 4, I've got Hornet's Nest, Charlotte.
Is that on tour anymore?
Well, I mean, it definitely was up until last year. They were playing the tour championship there up until last year. I don't know if it's still on the tour this year, but I mean, that's one that you go look at, and it's like super tight, technical. Anybody can win. I love those kind of courses. I love those kind of courses for the tour players. So that's my number 4 is Hornet's Nest. Number 3,
shenanigans.
Oh, was it not? Is it not on tour enough?
I don't think it is.
It's only one of the most popular courses in the world.
Oh,
Well, keep in mind, I will say, Smitty, you did put a
hey, quiet.
course on. Okay.
It's not on there?
Number 3, I've got Nokia, the Beast, Euro Tour, Championship. Who doesn't want to play that golf course?
I didn't even think about that one.
And how good and how fun is it to watch what happens on that golf course? I mean, look, you don't have to look any farther back than last year. It all comes. I've got a sneaky obsession with Anthony Barela, I think.
It's a little scary.
It's not sneaky.
Maybe it's not so sneaky.
Well, you do have his jersey.
I do have his jersey. But I mean, look at last year. What happened? Look what happened last year, and the unfortunate things that happened to him with a couple holes left to go when he had a major championship right there for the taking. Love that course.
Yeah, I didn't think about that course. I don't think I would have put it on my list though, because I think it looks awesome on coverage, but from the reviews that you get from the people that play it, it seems like it's the most like you go over here and play 3 holes and you go on this side of the apartments and you play a couple of holes. It's just like, I don't know, but wouldn't it be awesome to play there with all those people?
Yeah.
God dang, that'd be sick.
Well, Masters Worlds may find its way there here in a couple of years, so maybe that will play.
Cool. That'd be cool. So my number 3, which I'm sure is on your list, Toboggan.
Oh, it's not.
Idiot.
I know.
Idiot.
Are you kidding me?
No, I don't have.
Wow, man.
But
I haven't been there, but god dang, it looks good.
foolish. That's definitely one, right? That's definitely one that it wasn't even in my honorable mention, to be honest with you. But yeah, I mean, there's so many good courses on tour, though. I mean, it's kind
Yeah,
of like
for sure.
you're just picking your favorites, really.
Yeah, well, and a lot of it, I think, comes back to what has happened on that course.
Mhm.
So, I mean, every year it seems like at Great Lakes there's something awesome that happens. Eagle's shot from his flick from the road to park
Yeah.
it. When he made
that
the
hole,
putt.
that hole alone, right? Something weird's going to happen on that hole every single year.
Mhm. Simon last year throwing it OB on purpose. So,
Yeah.
all right. So my number 2. This is definitely a point for you. Probably not a direct hit, but it's 100% a point. Maple Hill.
You have sunk his battleship. That is direct hit.
That was
He
number
picked it
2.
for number 2 for you. Yep.
Yeah. Maple Hill.
What a course. I mean, throwing 7 gazillion feet helps, but I don't think you have to win there. I mean, Bradley Williams, he throws far enough to compete. He doesn't throw as far as those top dogs, and he's won there. And he wasn't he in the running this year or not?
No, Matteo won by a few. He might have been up near the top. I think Matteo was first and Goose was second.
Oh
That's
yeah,
how that finished up this year.
Matteo won and started partying about 20 minutes before they finished.
Yeah, they hadn't even putted on 16 yet, and Maddie had already taken 8,000 selfies on the 18th green. So,
But
yeah, that was pretty
zero
awesome
drinks
stuff.
because he didn't want to get disqualified.
That was pretty awesome.
I'm not drinking that. I don't want to risk getting disqualified.
Yeah. So Maple Hill, obviously, that's another one I don't have on my list, but not because I don't love Maple Hill, but there's just so many great courses, right? I don't know that you'll with number 2 either for me. Winthrop Gold.
Oh, dude.
Right. I, unlike Smitty, never had the opportunity to play USTGC. Kind of the one thing in my career that I feel like I missed out on was not getting a chance to play the US championships. But I know I love watching it.
Oh, it's another one of those places that just every year, man, it comes down to those last 2 holes. So good. And I hope they don't move it off of the property. You know, there's talk of moving to that ball golf course.
Man.
Or even moving to just a different a disc golf only facility. And I hope they don't, because there's so much history on so many of those holes that would just be, I mean, it would just be history at that point. And gosh dang. Oh, so cool. I tell you what, I almost had a heart attack the first time I walked up to hole 17. It was, and then I did have a heart attack when I threw a B 3 times in the tournament.
Oh, no.
Our sport doesn't have really anything close to, Augusta or the Masters or something like that, where they go there and play every year. They play it on the same golf course every year, but that's about as close as it gets to that. And I hope that doesn't change. The Masters Cup isn't as big a deal as it used to be at De La, which is a shame. I hope that Winthrop does not go by the wayside for the U.S. championships, because that would be hurtful to our sport, I think.
Yeah, and it's so much fun. That was like the first tournament I went to where I felt like I was like in a real sport. I got out of my car and they picked me up in a golf cart. There was a hospitality area that you could just chill there all day and eat and listen to music and hang out. And that was in 2004, maybe 5, long time ago. I can't imagine how awesome it is now.
Yeah, I just want to go as a spectator now. You know,
It's cool.
I mean, now I just want to go as a spectator. The days of dreaming of playing it as a competitor are long since over, but I'd still like to go watch.
That's another one though that throwing far helps, and throwing far is always going to be advantageous in disc golf, but if you can keep it in the ropes and make putts, you can score there. You can definitely score.
I think I can do half that.
Which half? Keep it in the ropes.
Depends on the day.
Right. All right.
All right.
Let's hear it.
Am I up for my last one?
Your
Yep,
number one.
Number one.
I got a 2-for-1 at the top. I took the complex.
So do I. Wash.
I mean, you can't. I mean, it's other than Winthrop Gold, it's number one on my bucket list. I need to get to Vermont and play those 2 golf courses. And
Yeah,
and they're
it made
just
my
so
list.
much fun to watch. So much fun to watch.
Yep. Well, let's reflect on our picks.
So what
Other
was your
than
number one, Smitty?
Same thing. Smuggler's Notch.
Smuggler's
Bruce-
Notch?
Yep. Brewster and Fox Run. So, I mean, let's reflect on our picks. If there's one thing that you and I like about disc golf, it's trees. Because outside
Shot
of
making.
Winthrop, outside of Winthrop, every course had some technicality to it.
Yeah, the only one I have on there that I would consider maybe a little bit of a bomber's paradise is Nokia.
Mhm.
And you still, I mean, there's a lot of rope there. You can't just throw it wherever you want to. Yeah, that's the kind of golf that I prefer. You know, I like to watch guys make shots because to me, that's what's fun.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you. I mean, if you're there in person, 600-foot bombs are pretty badass. But
Pretty cool to watch.
yeah,
Lucas, what would be your number one?
I don't know. I didn't even think about it. I would be along the same lines as you guys, though. I don't enjoy any of the golf courses on tour. I can see people throwing far every day on any social media platform. I want to see someone make a shot too. So when you can bend it around something, when you have to get creative when you're in stuff, I don't like roped off stuff. I like natural OB. I like something where you have to shape something, and if you don't hit that perfect shot and you're on the side, on the edge of something, you have to get creative. And I think that's what makes disc golf the most fun for me to watch, is when people have to get creative and it's not the same shot every time. So yeah, any of those that you named, I mean, I think Smuggler's Notch is, I don't think you could, it's hard to pick against that course or those courses.
yeah.
Yep.
I think they have everything. Everything.
Not at all. Yeah.
Yep. That was fun.
All right, boys. That was.
I like
And
that.
but there was a contest here, and it turns out that you guys both got one nailed on the head, and that was the only one you got. So you both earned 2 points, and you've tied.
But we both had
Perfect.
smugglers, right?
So we both got 3 points then. So we tied
No,
with
because
3.
you didn't. Oh,
I nailed his very first one, didn't I?
no, you
Oh.
said Green Mountain.
That is Smuggler's Notch.
Oh, that's the same thing. Okay,
That's the
Yeah.
tournament.
that's the
So I
tournament.
won.
Got you.
I
So
just
yes,
want to make sure I
you.
won.
So
We
sorry.
couldn't just have a tie, could we?
Yeah, I apologize. This is on me. Smitty won 4-2.
Um,
And he also
What?
said both courses on yours for your number one. He said the whole complex.
well, I put Smugs on his.
You did on number 3. So you did get a point. 4-3. I think we need to have me learn how to do math as well.
I thought the math is not mathing very well from our host, and
Hey, I
so because of that,
I
I'm going to say we
agree
tied.
with the results. I won
But
by
yeah.
landslide.
Smitty won. Congratulations. Smitty knows Ronnie more than
Dang.
Ronnie knows Smitty.
Look at that shirt Ronnie's wearing. I know he looks good in that.
Man, yeah. Let's hold on. I got to do it backwards here. We need to plug this. The wind dummies. We have merch now. If you would like to grab one of these wind dummies tees, Smitty's got I don't know if he's got a whole lot of them left, but he does have some.
Got a few.
We'll probably be getting some more in. But if you want one of them, hit him up and he'll let you know. If you want to support the show, we'd sure appreciate it.
Is it just that, or is there something on the back?
Hey man, we got a little something on the back. We got I think somebody of people may have seen you guys before.
Wow.
Yeah.
That looks good.
Yeah, I
Feel free to get you one.
I can't wait to see some of those bouncing around out in courses and whatever.
It'll be a little
fun.
weird.
It'll be cool, man. It'll be cool.
Yeah. It'll be super fun.
Yep.
All right, boys, let's jump into our next segment. We have the straight shooter sessions. And so let's talk about what we're going to be doing here. Really, all it is I'm going to give y'all both just a couple different topics, and I just want you to talk about it. Okay? Now, again, for those of you watching at home, if you have an idea of something you would like to know what these men are thinking about, give their opinions on it. They have lots of disc golf experience and they have lots of opinions. So please let them share. They would love to share. So the first one I want to do
Was he giving us a compliment right there? Was that a compliment?
That's how
I don't think that was a
Don't
compliment.
think so.
What a jerk.
It might have been backhanded.
that's how I give. That's how I give compliments. By the way. So I want to talk about Cali doubles. Okay. So I actually was reading something online, and I thought this might be a fun thing to talk about. So we know when we think of Cali, we think, okay, you get an extra shot on that hole. That's how we've always played it here. Well, apparently in other places, people play it differently. So different clubs, different regions play it differently. I've seen where it says Cali is 1 mulligan per par 3, 2 mulligans per par 4, and 5. And it can't be used on the same lie. So I've never heard of it played any differently. And I thought maybe this would be something fun to talk about. I don't know if in your guys' experience, if you've ever played Cali any differently than we've played here locally. But I thought this would be fun to see what you think. In Charlotte, they allow players to do a double buy-in and get 2 shots at every lie. So that's another option that I hadn't heard of before either. What are you guys' thoughts?
The second option there where you buy in twice, that a few years ago, I don't know if they still do it, but at Millbrook Glow League, that was an option that you could buy in and get 2 shots. I would if I actually, you know what? I probably wouldn't at Millbrook, because even with 2 shots per hole, somebody always comes in 15, 16, 17 down, and I probably wouldn't. I don't think I would buy 2. I'd just do the normal Cali.
Yeah, I've heard of that one before, right? So I've obviously the one that we're all familiar with. You get 1 extra shot per hole. But forever, we always played California rules where everything was a par 3, so it didn't, it didn't matter. It was always that way. But I've also seen the last option of the double buy-in. I've seen that in a few places where you could do that. But as far as the multiple extra shots on a hole, where to me, it's always been 1 extra shot or you got a full California. There's never been a hodgepodge of the 2. I've never really seen that before.
Yeah, I'm out on the first one because, I mean, let's be honest. Our disc golf clientele sometimes aren't the brightest people, right? So, and also, let's be honest, sometimes they're not the most honest people, right? So now you're expecting people to know that hole 7's a par 4 and hole 10 is a par 5.
Mm-hmm.
So now you get an extra throw on 7, you get 2 throws, and you get 3 on this hole. It's going to get screwed up, and I'm out. If I show up to your league and you're saying Billy's getting Cali and he's getting this many shots, I'm saying you're not seeing Smitty at this league anymore either. So I don't like
you're muddy. Yeah, muddy in the waters where it doesn't need to be muddied. And yeah, it would probably be I'd probably be a one and done on the old multiple Cali shots.
Yeah, I mean, I'm out on it.
I don't like it either. Normal California, full California, I can get behind either one of those. Don't come with me where I get 11 shots on a 5 par, but I don't get them on a 3 par. No, I'm out. Yeah, I don't like that either.
Well, let's take this twist to it as well. You get 3 shots, but Lucas said you couldn't go twice from the same lie. You couldn't take 2 of them. Why not? If it's a par 5 and I want to throw all my mulligans off the tee because there's this super cool shortcut I can take, why can't I take all 3 of my mulligans on one hole?
It's kind of hard to use 3 if it's a par 5. Now that I'm kind of thinking, if you're using them, so you basically have to throw 2 shots every time. Yeah, that I didn't even think about that. That's convoluted. I don't like that. Now I like it even less.
So I just want to let y'all know: do not go to Charlotte. No, Charlotte was okay. Where was it? It was somewhere else. Charlotte was the one that said you could buy in twice. Charlotte was cool.
I'm cool with that. I don't mind that. I'm probably like Smitty. I'm probably gonna take my chances and see if I can't 2x my profit. I'll just take the 1 extra shot.
Yeah, I just had never heard of Cali playing any other way. So it was just such an interesting thing to read. I'm like, is that even cool? And I needed you to make my opinion. Thank you so much. Now I know I don't like it.
Why is it Cali too? Is it Cali because it originated in California?
Yeah,
that's what I was heard to call with everybody. When I first started playing, everybody said, "Who's the California?"
But I've never seen any like rules on it. Like I can't find anything online that says, "Hey, this is Cali rules for doubles." Never seen anything. So
let's go ahead and name that first version of it Nebraska. So if you play that bad way, we'll call it Nebraska.
Okay,
in for knowledge.
Okay, Lucas, can you get stats to see if we have any Nebraska followers and if they drop us?
Yeah, I don't think we have anything to worry about.
We track our Nebraska viewership and lack thereof following the podcast.
I think maybe I have Anita Jackson will still follow us. She'll be a fan of us. So we're good. It's the only Nebraskan we need.
All right, we're going to move on to a different topic. And this one, completely unrelated to doubles. We're talking about, what do y'all feel about having standardized baskets, the same baskets on every tour stop, so that it's the same regardless? Think it's a cool idea, or do you hate it? Tell me your thoughts.
I personally, I mean, I can kind of take it or leave it, I guess. I don't mind the different baskets on different courses. Ken Kleinmel, I saw him do an interview. I think it must have been at USDGC when he was talking about holing speed. And I think that's a real thing. Should be more of a real thing in disc golf. I don't think the baskets should be these catch-all. If you hit the chains, it's an automatic. They're not magnets. They're disc catching contraptions, right? And I think everybody, if you left it up to the tour players, they would do that 100%. They would take the basket that just sucks everything in, and we'd use those at every event. I don't mind that they go to Emporia and those things spit them out at them every once in a while. Don't putt so hard. When push comes to shove, I think maybe it's okay. If it's going to be a disc golf pro tour, maybe they should do it, but it doesn't bother me that it's not, if I'm honest.
I'm along the same lines as Ronnie. I can play on any basket. I'm not going to change the way I play. I put it firm, but I don't fire it, I guess is my deal. On the pro tour though, I don't know that I wouldn't mind seeing the same basket every event. That way we don't have, they're the best. So pick a basket, learn how to play on that one basket. You don't go to the Masters and play on a bigger hole than you do at Torrey Pines.
fair.
You play the same hole everywhere. I do think that would open up some good sponsorship avenues. You could have 18 billboards there instead of the koozie. If they did one of the baskets with the band, I bet people, because right now, if they're disc catchers, they're Innova, Innova's getting that sponsorship there. If they're veterans, DD's getting, that sponsorship opportunity. That would open up 18 different. So, but can you imagine that would almost take another trailer just to move all the baskets?
Yeah. How do you, yeah, that's what I was going to say. How do you, what's the logistics of that look like when now we have to have a tour facilities manager that now tears down and sets up all of the baskets every week? And how do they get there in time to practice? Right. Because you don't want to be
that now, though, man.
I don't
They
know.
already
I
have that with that
know.
big Zuka sign. That gigantic Zuka sign pops up every tournament.
It does.
So,
But it's
that thing's traveling around.
They don't have to have it
No,
there until
that
the
would
day
be
of the
cool.
tournament.
I would like that if it was out in the middle of the fairway and they had to throw through that son of a gun. I think that would be cool. No, I'm serious, dude. On some of these holes that are just throw 9,000 feet, put that stupid thing out there at 4,000 feet and say, get through that before you go there.
Well, we've talked on several occasions my thoughts on clowns' mouths, and I don't really care for them. And it looks to me like if we go back and just start talking about, we talk about. That's the one place where I don't mind it.
There we go. Number 2 course, and he doesn't.
We all know it's going to be there, but we all know it's going to be there, and it's been there for a long time, right? And it's not. But it sounds. I mean, they had one out there at that tournament they just played in Arizona, and it decided the golf tournament.
Seems like it.
So I don't know.
I also sent Ronnie into retirement once with a bunch of hard stuff like that.
This is a fact. I have not been to Cherry Street since. And I love that place. That was one of my favorite places in the world. I have been there since.
He quit disc golf for like 3 years.
It's true.
Do you remember? I don't think this was on the tour, but this was on coverage somewhere where Corey Ellis made that putt and it slipped through the bottom of the basket afterward. Was that a tour stop?
D-Glow, I'm pretty sure.
That's what I mean. Like that kind of stuff is like you can't have that happen at a tour event. You can't.
Milo.
Ooh, maybe it was Milo.
Because it was kind of it was an older.
It was a pro tour event though.
Yeah. He hit and fell right through that dude. I mean, there was a string there where he had the worst luck ever. But something like that could never happen. If his putter fell through that basket, somebody else's putter has fallen through that basket previously. Yeah. And it's a known thing. And there's no way that should ever happen.
Yeah.
And
that's a whole different topic.
Yeah. Fair enough.
And what's crappy is that cost him a stroke too.
What cost him more than the golf?
Everybody saw it fall right through the bottom. But yeah, that's another story. But yeah. So we're in agreement, I believe, that we don't care one way or the other, but hey.
But I will say it like I told you, when push comes to shove, I think if you made me decide one way or the other, I would say do it, because these are the best players on tour. They're playing for the biggest purses every week, and if they think that having a standardized basket would make the competition more fair or evened, then I say go for it.
Sorry,
Can you unmute me? I'll put my pen down. Sorry, pal. That's my ADD.
It was just getting tough to hear him, so I was just trying to be kind about it.
Oh my gosh.
What would you pick as the basket?
Oh, that's a good question.
I think Discraft produces the best basket.
Which one?
The main one.
X?
The one that's out on all the golf courses, not the.
I think
What's-
you're
what's it-
thinking you're thinking Innova. You're saying disc catcher, I think.
No, not disc catchers.
Hmm.
Disc
Well,
catchers
there's
are fine too. I'll tell you what. We'll put it this way. How about we do it this way? As long as it's not a dynamic disc basket, I'm probably pretty cool with it. Don't put a vent.
I don't think those things are that bad.
I think they're terrible.
I have.
Sorry, Jeremy
they're not.
Rusco, if you're watching, but I think the basket's awful.
They're not. They're not the best, but they're not horrible. So no, they're the Discraft baskets are the Mach X's like what we have at Oak, and then the Mach 7, which is what we have at
No,
Herman
those
Hill.
are DGA.
Same thing.
Well, they are, but they're not.
I don't know if I played on one. You're talking the red one, the red top Discraft.
Yep.
I don't know if I played
It's
on
not
one
a
of those.
disc catcher. It's a what's the name of that basket, Lucas?
Mach
Yeah,
something.
it's not mock anything. Gosh dang it.
Disc catcher is the end of a basket.
I know a disc catcher is an end of a basket.
Chain Star?
Chain Star. Thank you. Chain Star.
The new
I
one.
think that triple chain star, dude. I think it's narrow, so you don't have this giant catching apparatus. But if you hit it in that one, you're going to make it more often, right? If you get a half a disc in the chains, you're going to make it. If you don't get a half a disc in the chains, it's probably going to kick it out. And a disc catcher is not wholly different. I just think there's some areas on a veteran that it will not catch from, which should be some of the best places to hit it in the basket.
Yeah, you do
ultimately,
get some pulling outs.
All the baskets are way better than the best baskets were 25 years ago. So none of them are awful.
Have either of you putted on those Prodigy baskets with the squares?
I don't think I have.
I don't
I
know if
haven't.
I have either. That's what Kale has at his place, right?
Yeah, I think so, probably. I haven't
seen
seen them. You're probably playing on a bunch of gateway stuff right now.
I played today.
Titans, I think they're called.
I don't know what they are. So they're super wide. Like the basket itself is really wide, but the chain apparatus is kind of small.
What do you mean, the top part's wide?
No, the bottom, the actual tray is really wide, but you're kind of narrow at the top. So it's almost like it almost seems like an oversized
Marksman?
marksman. Yeah.
I can't believe there's
but
not
they catch really
a.
super heavy chains, crazy heavy chains.
Can't believe there's not a
You're not
standard on that.
So, but they're I don't mind them. Yeah, there's quite a few courses over here that have those up. In St. Louis, in case nobody, for people who don't know, I'm in St. Louis right now. So,
Right
All right,
on.
boys. Cool. All right, that's good conversation. Appreciate you. Let's move into another segment that we're going to be calling the Wheel of Debate. Dun, 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 dun. How this is going to work is I'm going to spin this wheel. This is going to choose the topic that they are going to debate. From there, I will then spin the wheel again, and one of them is going to spin for getting the pro side of the conversation of the debate, and then one will get the con side of the debate, and they're just going to go at it. They will get to 1 minute to debate. The other person will get 1 minute to debate, and then they'll explain how they truly feel about the matter after the fact. Boys, any questions before I spin this wheel?
got it. Let's do it.
Okay, here we go.
Tacos or burritos?
It's going to be banning step putt. All right, so let's see. Pro or con? So this is going to be for Smitty. Whatever this falls on, this is going to be what Smitty gets. Do you want to ban step putt or do you want to keep it? Smitty wants to. Oh, he wants to keep it. You do not want it banned, Smitty. Okay. So let me get a.
Shenanigans.
All right. So who would like to go first?
I'll go.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, Smitty, you're going to get to go first. 1 minute on the clock and go.
I see no real reason to ban step putting. It's been a part of disc golf for as long as I've played disc golf. It's a skill that people develop by practicing and, using it to their advantage. I've known a few people who would rather be just outside of the circle versus on the circle itself or inside the circle because they're more confident with the step putt. If performed correctly, it's 100% within the rules as long as you have a point of contact touching the ground at release. What you do beyond that point doesn't really matter outside of the circle. It's just like throwing from 150 feet out in the fairway. As long as you are behind your lie and point of contact at release, you're good to go. It's part of the game. It should remain part of the game.
Ooh, that's pretty good. Pretty good, Smitty. All right. Good work. All right, Ronnie, you get a chance to counter that argument with your 1 minute starting now.
The old guy's gone crazy. Step putting, jump putting, whatever you want to call it's got to go away. It's garbage. You're gaining an advantage. I don't care. It's been a part of the game for as long as the game has been around, but obviously you're gaining an advantage or else they wouldn't tell you can't do it inside of 10 meters. So I think you got to do it. Do you do it by just saying you got to stay behind your lie all the time? I'm okay with that. Do you do it by having a second circle, right? And saying maybe you can step beyond that, but 10 meters to 20 meters or 30 meters or whatever it is, get it out of the game. These guys that do it, obviously they're terrible putters or they wouldn't have to do something like that. Put some spin on a Frisbee, get your butt behind the disc, throw it in the basket and move on.
Okay. All right. All right. I love it. I love it. That was amazing. So before we get into how y'all really feel about this, I want to ask you all watching, who do you think won that debate? Don't think about your personal feelings. Just think about that debate in itself. Did Smitty win or did Ronnie win? Would love to hear it in the comments. All right, fellas, tell me how you really feel, because I know some of you might be itching to switch sides on this.
Get out of here with this get rid of step buddy stuff. It's like Smitty said, and I don't know if he believes it or not, but I do think it's a skill, right? It's not something that's you don't just have it or you don't have it, right? You learn how to do it, and it's within the rules. They put that rule at 10 meters for a reason, and as long as they're going to keep it there, I'm going to keep on step button.
Yeah, I have no problems with people step putting. The biggest argument you hear is that they're in the air before they release. They're beyond their lie, which, until they allow video evidence, which might be another topic for Wheel of Debate at some point, allowing that. Until that is allowed, we're talking microseconds, milliseconds. You can't catch it with the human eye. And, I don't care. I do it. I don't do it from the edge of the circle like Ronnie does, but I'll do it from 45 or more. Or if I need to get more zip on it to get, a more penetrating putt versus something I can put a little float on. But yeah. And do you think you get closer when you do it, Ronnie? Do you think your release point is closer to the basket than just a stand putt? Like, are you you beyond your lie? Because I think we are.
I think I am.
Certainly, but I'm also probably beyond my lie when I'm releasing the frisbee beyond my lie when I'm just standing behind it as well, right? I mean, my arm is only as long as my arm is. You know what I'm saying? So am I closer? Sure, but here's when I hear people say you can't do it and you shouldn't be able to do it and all that kind of stuff. Look, a 3-pointer is a 3-pointer as long as you leave from behind the arc, right? I think to me it's a similar analogy. I just think I just don't find it to be all that dissimilar. You know, it is what it is, and you know, and you'll hear other people say that. Well, I don't even know why you do it anyway. It's just adding another mechanism to the putt and all this kind of stuff. Well, then good. Don't worry about how I do it. Just go get it out of the basket for me.
Right.
That's
you know, go ahead, Lucas.
I'm going to say I'm a huge step better. I'm right with Ronnie. Like, I want to be right outside. I would say if I'm just inside, I feel a lot less comfortable. It's just how I putt. I don't have the same pop. The thing that the step putt does for me is it helps generate my legs, which I don't do in my normal putt, and it helps me. Now, I do agree also with you, Smitty, that it's very, very tough to call someone on it. Like, if you see it, it's so tough. And I don't think I've ever heard someone really, truly, legitimately call someone on it. And I've seen some really bad step putts. You know what I mean? I practice mine enough where I feel super comfortable with it. It's bang, bang. And if it's not close, then it's not good for me. Like, it has to be, my timing has to be like where it's perfect or I'm not hitting it right. So it is one of those bang, bang things. And it is definitely one that's always up for debate.
Where do the big boys start step putting? I don't know if there's very many edge of the circle guys, are there? I can't think of one.
I mean, KJ definitely is. KJ USA. I mean, that dude 1 inch outside that circle. You
think so?
Yeah.
100%. Drew's gone to be the same way.
Drew, I was going to say.
The absolute edge. And that dude is filthy with it now.
He's good.
He's one of the best on the road. AB does it too.
AB's really started doing it. I don't know where he starts though.
He's moved it way closer. Just in what I saw from Shelly Sharp, there was a lot of those that were like you could see the little feather or whatever you want to call it in the ground right there next to his lie. He's doing it now from the edge of the circle where he was doing it more at like 50, 60 feet before. Look, and that's why I say that if it didn't make that putt easier, those guys doing it for a living wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
But you look at a guy like Paul. Paul can stand and I think it all comes from how you generate spin on the frisbee when you putt, right? Paul could stand there or Ricky or those guys could just stand there and putt it from 75 or 80 feet and not even flinch. I can't do that.
Yeah, I mean, I have nothing against step putting. If people are making putts with it, I love it. Even if you're ugly, but making one on me, I love it, dude. There's nothing better than seeing a long putt just bam, chains and in. It's good. That's good. If it's helping people make them, do it. So
agreed. All right. So again, if you have ideas of some topics that we can talk about for the Wheel of Debate, put it in. Lots of things that we want you all to get involved with. So please make sure you let us know. We're going to move into another segment. This next one is going to be called Courtesy Violation, because we're trying to have a show, but y'all are asking questions and you're talking while we're trying to putt. So this is Courtesy Violation. Our audience questions. We had a few come in that were pretty cool topics, and I really want to get into these. We kind of hit with these last minute, so I know you guys didn't get a chance to really think this over. But one of the first ones, this one comes from Travis Bailey. He says, which sponsor move will have the biggest positive and negative impact on a player? So we know a ton of different moves happened this offseason. Who's going to have the most positive impact with their company, and who's going to maybe regress a little?
I'm going to throw out a guy who's already had success, Parker Welk. I mean, that dude has all the talents in the world. I don't know that he necessarily went to a better manufacturer by any means, but I mean, if you can do that and it make that much of an impact right away, I mean, maybe there's something to it. There's a couple other guys out there for sure, but Parker Welk's one that comes immediately to mind.
He ended up 11th at the Maricopa, so he won, and then right outside top 10. I mean, he's playing well, so it's a good pick, Ronnie. Go ahead, Smitty. Sorry about that.
No, that's all right. I'm going to say the person who the change is going to have the most positive effect to or for. We haven't seen him play yet, and that's Gannon Buhr.
Yeah, I mean, I know where you're going.
The dude is already amazing, and he's now going to have a lot more disc options and more readily available discs that he wants to throw. And I'm assuming that Discmania is going to work with him. And I mean, this dude, he's one of those once in a lifetimers that, that we're lucky enough to see. And he's going from trash can lids to real discs now. So, I mean, and not to say that Prodigy's total garbage, but Isaac and Ezra are proving that it's definitely not garbage, but they're also throwing special runs that are hard to get and, collector's discs. And just listening to Gannon talk just in the few interviews I've heard, he's really excited about having a great fairway game now. So yeah. I think the change is going to be super positive for him. And I'm with Ronnie. Parker Welk, he was good too, but there's another one going from Prodigy to somebody new.
PGA. Yep.
Yeah, and I think you got another one. You got another one in that same group. And it's funny that we're going all these Prodigy to somewhere else guys, but Alden Harris, I think, is someone that if you don't already kind of know who that dude is, you might want to strap in this year, because I think to me, I think he's the guy that can make the biggest jump of anybody on tour. I mean, that dude's gonna put some podiums up this year. And I really want to see that dude with some other plastic in his hands.
Yeah.
Do we have a whole concert going on? What's happening? Anyone else hear that, or is that just me?
I don't hear it. I heard like some bass for like in the background, but I thought it was one of you two clowns.
Okay.
I thought it was coming from you, Lucas.
Oh yeah.
Hang on. It's my kid. He's practicing his trumpet. Not kidding.
Is he really?
I thought he was serious.
Gosh dang it.
Now I want that to be it. We need to cut all this, but now I want to keep that.
I know. I was like, I'm ready to cut it.
We're not cutting it.
We're not. Gotta say now.
We're not cutting it.
Oh my god.
Who's going the other way? Who's the change going to be adversely affect their play?
So
Lucas, you got one?
Yeah, I got one. So I actually think Eagle might take a step backward. So I don't know if you've heard about this, but when people go to MVP, and I've heard this from Greg Renfro, who's, the biggest MVP locally, like he has thousands of discs, but you have to start throwing the discs differently. I just think he's going to start the year very slow. I think he'll get there, but I don't think he's going to make a big buzz early on, and watch and see if I'm right. I mean, I know Eagle is one of the most talented players we have on tour, but I just think he's going to struggle a little bit at first with MVP.
I think he'll be just fine.
Doesn't seem out of the realm. That doesn't seem out of the realm to me, but it's Eagle.
Yeah, that
I know.
Dude's,
if
that
it was
dude's
anybody other than that
talent.
guy,
he's a Frisbee player. He'll be fine.
And James has had no problems. Simon is arguably.
James took a second too, though. Simon took a second. Well, Simon.
Pretty sure James won a world championship his first year with MVP.
But that was towards the end of the year.
Maybe out of the gate, he might start slow. I mean, I could maybe see that, but the dude's up.
That's all I'm saying. Oh, he's disgusting. But that's who I'm going with. I do think on the other side, I think we've already seen Tristan Tanner. If that's not the hugest confidence boost ever for him, I mean that's got to be huge. Brand new sponsor, big win, huge numbers for him. I hope he makes a splash this year that we haven't seen from him since his Worlds run.
Got mine. Carter Aarons.
Ooh. he went DD to Lone Star. Yeah.
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 I really like that. Actually,
That's a good call.
Well, that guy made a few splashes last year. He
did.
We saw him a little bit on coverage, and he had a tremendous arsenal to choose from at that point. And we've got Emerson Keith that won with their plastic last year one time, Lone Star.
I actually think
Chandler Kramer.
Emerson was my down.
Yeah, going to Innova.
And I'll tell you why. Because I think that dude really needs a specific type of Frisbee to be good, which is overstable. He leans so hard on that overstable flight. And I just, and this is, so it's twofold. It's the change. And because now it's a second mold to learn in 2 years, right? A second manufacturer. And I just think the guy has deteriorating talent anyway. He's really not a factor on tour much, other than he sprung up and won one. What he won? Did he win Frisco? Did he win OTB last year?
Yeah, I think he won OTB.
But outside of that, he was kind of off the radar as it was. And I think he's just someone who's kind of maybe already reached his pinnacle in the sport. And you couple that with another change. I think that was who came to mind to me as someone who I could see having a worse year than last year.
I can see that. But the way you started that conversation made me feel like you're saying the Innova doesn't have overstable molds.
No, not at all. But that's, to me, all my experience that I've ever seen with Lone Star, that's all it is. It's all just this ridiculous. I mean, you're throwing the most overstable. I mean, it's like throwing a gateway disc, right? You can't do anything with it other than it's like throwing tilts, but all tilts.
I think the best players can probably find something in that lineup that they can use if they're willing to grow and adapt with the plastic. I think that they can do it. I think the one slot that Emerson will miss is Innova doesn't have anything like a Justice or whatever Lone Star's version of that was. I don't think, do they?
No, sure they do. They got the Toro or a Gator or something like that. I mean, it's not too dissimilar.
Well, I guess we'll see, but yeah. And then
he ain't gonna throw that Boston Bruins thing anymore.
He'll just stamp something else with it.
What's he gonna use?
Toro or Gator 3?
I don't know Innova's lineup that well. I kind of just have an idea of the molds.
I think even both of those have more glide than a Justice or whatever.
They do.
From
I don't. That's not a slot that I have in my bag. I don't throw that. Don't go anywhere disc.
Well, you should. You'd keep it out of the creek on 13.
Man, 13 at Millbrook is costing me plastic in bunches.
It's
a pretty hard hole. It's like 120 feet.
Another DGA pickup that we didn't talk about yet is Macie Velediaz. I'm pretty sure DGA picked her up late here.
They did.
And so that's another one. I mean, I don't know that it'll affect her game much, but that'll just be another fun person to watch for DGA.
She's a pretty solid player.
She is. She's not going to be this year. I mean, she's pregnant. She's going to not tour half the year. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So she's not. But I will tell you, and I talked about this in my sponsorship news, but DGA also picked up Ellie Mittling, who is from the other side of the pond, long distance champion. She is going to go tour full time this year, and watch out for her. I'm just going to say that right now.
She's from Europe.
Cool.
Yep.
Can't putt.
So
Can't putt.
Man.
Don't care.
Those
We'll
girls
show
over
you.
there struggle with the putter, don't they? It's hard to watch because Henna is one of my absolute favorite people to watch throw a frisbee. I mean, she absolutely is a rock star for 82.5% of her round. And then the rest of it is hard to watch. I have to go get popcorn every time she gets to the green. So I don't have to watch.
It is it does make the stomach churn. It's like every time I feel uncomfortable for her.
Yeah, I feel bad for her because I've been there, man. Trust me, I went through stretches where I didn't think I was ever gonna make a putt again. Like I remember a tournament playing one time. It was me and Babbitt and Ron Converse, and the only putt I had that day was the wish putt, and I wasn't wishing hard enough, dude. It didn't matter what I tried. I could not get the frisbee to go in the basket. Laying up from 15 and 18 feet. That's the most demoralizing thing in the world.
Yeah, 100%. I do it in the wind.
He doesn't understand that.
I laid up once and lost a tournament. True story.
So, wow.
I was on the lead card, and we were playing at Crowley, Texas, and it was really windy, and it was cold also. And I probably didn't miss a putt the entire day. I was playing great. We came down to hole 18, and there was a little bit of a death putt behind it, and I laid it up from about 25 feet. And what was his name? Paul Dorez from Tulsa beat me from the chase guard. So
this is where live scoring is so nice.
Is it though?
Before the day
that was kind of fun back then too. So that was good. Do you have another courtesy violation?
Yeah, we got one more here. This is from Andrew McLaughlin. He wants to kind of just talk about limiting the number of discs in a bag for the Pro Tour and check-ins, like having check-ins for each Pro Tour stop for every event.
I don't care how many discs you carry. If you want to pull 3 carts in a train, I don't care. Do it. Right? Because that's I don't think you're getting an advantage on me by carrying more frisbees than I do. I don't agree. Really?
No, and I'll tell you why. And I know why Andrew's coming. So it is a rule in ball golf. You can only carry 13 clubs, right? And the whole reason behind that is because you're going to have to make do with those 13 clubs. At one time when I was really playing, I had 9 wedges. But if I was going to carry all the rest of my irons, I had to choose from 3. If you want to get real fine with what you do, I don't know what the number is. It doesn't matter to me really. But I think that at the tour level, I would be in favor of a limitation of discs. I think I'll trust the guys enough not to be throwing illegal frisbees. I mean, they're professionals. Let's hope that that's not going on. But I would be in favor of a maximum allowable.
I can only think of 2 really good players that carry a crap ton of discs, and they're both not the top dogs anymore. Ron Converse carries 1 of every disc made by Dynamic Disc, Westside, and Latitude in his bag every single time, and sometimes 3 of each of them. I mean, that dude has so many discs. And the other one is a Dave Felberg. Huge bag, man. But still, you watch those guys play, they're relying on 6 discs to play around.
Then a 15 or whatever it is shouldn't be a problem, right? But it's going to make you, hey, this is what I'm putting in the bag. And I think a 10 or 12 would be actually a pretty, I mean, you could make it 4 for me. I'd figure out a way to play around, right? But I would be in favor of that because, yeah, this is what you got to start the round with. You're going to have to use your practice in a better way to be more selective with this is what I'm using this week. I don't have 75 discs to choose from. This is what we're rolling with. If I get in a spot, I've got my pickle disc, you know, I got my get out of jail free card. But I actually would be in favor of something like that.
Weird. I'm just the opposite. I just don't care. But I carry a lot of discs too, I guess. Maybe that's something. You don't. Your bag always has empty space.
Yeah.
Right?
How many discs do you carry usually, Smitty?
I can't tell you. I can just tell you I don't know how many discs I have. They go in a certain spot. So I'd have to count what I had left to right.
Do you think you have more than 20?
Yeah. Right now.
Yeah.
But I mean,
and then Ronnie, I know when we talked before, when we did your journey, you said a lot of those discs are there so your bag doesn't blow away, right?
Yeah, I mean I've got right now in my bag, I've got 6 discs that I really use for the most part. There's a couple of other ones that are going to be situational, and everything else in there is simply backups or for me to throw when I'm practicing, right? For in the middle of a round, because I'll have two molds take up 70% of my bag. And that's an Undertaker and a putter.
Just different wear and tears.
I'm between 22 and 25 discs in my bag right now.
Okay. Yeah. So that would be to limit that to 13. Do you think that would be something that you could do, Smitty, and just with what you actually throw?
Yeah, I'm good enough. Right now I carry a Ballista Pro. I carry 2 Ballista Pros and 2 Raiders. And I could easily combine those I could figure out which one was going to work. I feel like I can flick the Raider better, and I never backhand it. And I only backhand the Ballista Pro and never flick it. But I feel like if I had to, I could go one way or the other on that. I carry 2 Felons. I could throw one out and make one of them work. I carry 3 EMAC Truths. 2 of them are interchangeable, and one of them is, newer, which is almost the same as my Verdict, so I could throw it out. I mean, I could do it. I have 3 of the exact same putters in my bag, just because you haven't played very many practice rounds with me, Lucas, but
no,
I'm probably the most annoying guy in the world to play disc golf with, because I putt at least 3 times every single time I'm out there playing. So
that's good practice, though. But I think, just from you breaking that down, I think it would be truly interesting on the tour level to limit some of those numbers of discs for players, just to see what would happen. It's definitely an interesting topic.
Yeah, I like I said, I would be a favorite, and I like the question from Andrew. That's a good question. And as far as the checking stuff, I'll use my bowling background. When we go bowl big tournaments, especially like the national tournaments, something like that, you had to have your balls weighed. You had to.
Whoa!
You knew it was coming.
I'm going bowling, baby.
Lowest common denominator, always. Lowest common denominator. No, but they would, all your equipment had to be checked in. And like I said, I wouldn't want to see them doing that on tour, just because I'm going to trust those guys and they're professionals. But it wouldn't be out of the realm either.
I think with the check-in process, track and field, my background, when we would go to the big conference meets and bigger, all of the throwing implements had to be checked and weighed. And even at state track, they do that now. And not only did they weigh them, but they would also check them for wear and tear. Like if a discus has a nick out of it, that gives you a competitive advantage, probably, if you dig your finger in there or whatever, I would assume. Disc golf, though, our discs, it may start at 175, and that's going to, lower. I don't know how much gets shaved off by hitting trees and nicks and whatever, but some of those are your best discs, man. Those ones that are just demolished. And so that would be another thing they would, is this disc legal because of wear and tear, maybe? So
I think that's
I don't
something
want
that Andrew even put in this. Yeah, he was like,
No,
he said check weights on each disc, not just stickers, but scale every disc and all of these different things too. So
and he would 100% know how many discs are coming that are overweight because he's stamping those suckers all the time, and he probably checks them. If he feels like one is heavy, he probably weighs it, or maybe they get a box of them at Disc Unlimited and they're marked, don't sell or something.
His thought around it was putting more pressure on the manufacturers to create a more quality product, get rid of factory seconds, lab seconds, all of those types of things, and just get good discs out there. I think that was a big reason for this topic, was also the higher quality manufacturing.
Interesting stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I think let's get into our final topic, our final segment, our weekly picks.
Why'd you spell picks that way?
Yeah. So 3 S's. That's weird. Because what we're going to do with our picks, and there's no tournaments coming up, but we do have the All-Star Challenge coming up soon. So with the 3 S's on the picks, we're going to choose a player that's going to shine, a player that's going to stink, and a player that's our sleeper. All right. And so we've written this all down beforehand. So we may end up with some of the same players. We'll find out. How do we want to do this? Who do we want to start with?
You go first.
You're the host. Go ahead.
The cat.
Okay. Let's just start with the shine. I think it's going to be Isaac Robinson. I think he's going to pick up right where he left off. I don't know if you saw his tournament just recently, but this dude is just otherworldly. And I just think he is going to absolutely knock the socks out of everyone at this challenge.
Chalk. I bet you like 1 seeds in this NCAA tournament.
I can't help it. The 1 seeds win a lot.
This is not inaccurate. I'm going to take Kyle Klein. I think he's primed to maybe start a little bit of a run, and maybe it starts this coming up event at the All-Stars.
Okay.
That guy doesn't get enough love, man. He
doesn't.
is freaking good.
I think it's his face.
It's the first. I think he's an all right dude too. I just don't think he's there's just something about him that doesn't gravitate towards people, which is too bad because he's great. He's good, man.
He is.
He's good. All right. My shine, Mr. Consistent, Calvin. I mean,
We both like 1 seeds.
Results don't lie, right? This guy, top of the leaderboard nearly every single week. Number 1 player in the world, isn't he? Is that his current rating? I think maybe. If not, he should be up there.
Yep.
The dude's good. The dude is phenomenal, and he lives in Florida. I'm sure he's been chillaxing and playing disc golf a lot. So, and I think Kyle lives in Florida too.
You guys got the 1 and the 1A, right? You guys got the 2 alphas, the 2 guys that beat the tour up last year. So, I mean, who can fault you for picking those guys?
See, I think your dude might have fallen in a different category for me. So
maybe he shows up more than once in mine.
Oh,
maybe.
Okay.
I mean,
All right,
I didn't pick him, but I would have if I would have thought about him.
Smitty, why don't we start with you this time? You pick stink or sleeper.
I'm gonna go stink.
Okay, who's gonna stink?
Guys, not gonna believe my pick. It's my dude, man. My number 1 Eagle. I'm gonna pick him at stink, not because of what you said that he has to learn how to throw the plastic differently. He's gonna play left-handed.
He is
at the All-Star event.
Oh, is he? Do we know this for fact?
Guaranteed.
I saw an interview where he confirmed it. Now, whether he follows through with it or not.
No, he is. He 100% is. I guarantee you.
Well,
I mean, he's
I
got
would
too
have
much
changed
to
my
risk.
stink if I had this insider information.
But how are we gonna quantify that? Because if that dude finishes, I don't know if it's a stake.
He's going to finish. He's 100% going to finish, and he's
If-
going to.
if he beats anybody, he's
Oh
the
my
he's the
God.
shine.
He's
the
not
shine.
going to beat anybody.
If
He's
he
not-
beats anyone, though, that player might quit.
He's not going to beat. He's not going to beat any of them. But I mean, didn't you guys watch him throwing his discs with
He's
his
good.
dad and
Yeah.
Tom? His left-handed putt was amazing.
I would die
mean,
for it.
And we've already seen him throw left-handed at European Open. He threw no flicks, and
What he
So-
said, the interview I watched, they asked him what they thought his rating was left-handed, and he was like, what did he say, like 940 or something like that? He's like, but if I practiced it for 3 days, I'm like 2-3 days, you practiced for 2 or 3 days. He's like, I think that could be around 1,000. I'm like, what?
so
I've been
yeah.
playing for 25
That's
years.
when you know. That's when you know you're one of the best in the world. When you can say stuff like that.
2 or
mean it.
3 days. Oh my!
So yeah, I mean, and
That's a good call, though.
yeah, like,
A little bit of the obvious pick. I'm
Ronnie?
gonna keep with my theme and go a little more off the radar with who's gonna stink. Hailey.
that's not off the radar though.
She's definitely a roller coaster.
Someone with all the talent in the world. Unfortunately, she fights with some demons from a mental health standpoint, which is unfortunate. But she's got a little bit of that Keenan Ford in her. She's an A or she's an F, and I'm just going out on a limb and saying this weekend is going to be the F.
I don't think there's enough pressure for it to be an F.
It could be.
Yep. I can see that.
Yeah. But you're right. It could be bad, or it could be amazing, because that chick is good.
She's
Yeah.
so good.
The talent's
Yeah.
undeniable.
Good.
Yeah, when she's on,
Yeah.
but you're right, A to F. That's a good call. My stink is Macie Velediaz, new sponsor and pregnant. I just don't think she's going to be feeling it. It's nothing. No offense to her, but me and Kendra have been going out recently, playing some disc golf. While she's pregnant, she just ain't feeling right. You know what I mean? So that's my pick. We're just basing this all on the baby in the tummy.
Yeah. It's feel.
I'm looking at the women's field right now, right? And there's no Tattar, there's no Paige. Basically, you got Missy, Holyn as your top dogs right now at that. I just don't think she's going to stink. I mean, there's other. What do you mean stink based on what she's capable of, or stink compared to the other girls?
Yeah, I would say stink based on her level of like where she's at typically. Okay. I think it's going to be tough.
I can give you that.
I think with these women, I just think any of them, like, I just don't think it's going to be, this is bad to say, but I just don't think it's going to be too exciting on the women's side of things. And
they don't need 3 cards.
Yeah, that's what I think. This is maybe did too much.
Yeah.
They don't need 3 cards.
Me for the sleeper, huh? For my sleeper, I'm going with, I don't know how much of a sleeper yet. First of all, how they sleeper if they're an all-star. But this guy is one of my absolute favorite people to watch disc golf.
Anthony Barela.
It's not Anthony Barela, and it's not even Aaron Gossage, who I also really like to watch play. It's the proctologist, James Proctor. That dude is a superstar. It's another one of the guys that just needs to feel that win one time, and I don't know how you keep him from winning all the time.
He's good, man.
It's a good pick, dude. Honestly, I went between James Proctor and the guy I'm going to choose, which is, again, I'm kind of with you where how is this dude a sleeper? But Redalen is still a kid, right? So he's a sleeper. I think he's going to shine in this thing too. He's just such a mature kid too. I love him. He's one of my favorites to watch right now.
I think you both made pretty good picks. My problem with them is they're both good, and you expect them to do good. At least I do. I think those two are going to be up there all the time. My sleeper had a terrible into their year last year. I mean, bad. 2-time world champion, sucking eggs, missing caches, couldn't do squat. Catrina Allen. I saw some videos of her throwing into a net, and it looked good. I mean,
she changed some things.
Good. Yeah. Her backhand drive looked great. I mean, it looked awesome.
I will say, I don't think there's anyone that works harder than Catrina. Just like, I mean, she is always grinding, right? Always.
That's what we see.
Yeah, but, at least.
I mean, and I went with her because I think at the end of last year, I think she was in a bad place for herself and her career. And like I said, looking at that women's list, I think she can come out, and if she's hitting on all cylinders, I think it could be a real good kickoff to her season. It could get her going the way she needs to go.
Not so bad.
Yeah. That's a good pick. All right. Well, that is our weekly picks. And before we go, I want to talk about a Survivor League that we're going to be having, kind of a fantasy disc golf type situation. Ronnie, if you'd like to explain that for everyone.
Yeah, sure. So we are going to have a Survivor League. We're looking for 12 of you guys out there to join us. It will be a $10 entry. We are going to be picking one person to finish in. Do we say the top 10, top 15? What are we doing?
I think top 15.
Top 15?
Yeah.
Your player has to finish in the top 15 in an event. If your player finishes in the event, you move to the next week, the next tour stop. Can't, just like in a football survivor pool, you can't double up on. So once you've picked Calvin Heimburg, you can't keep picking Calvin Heimburg, right? You're going to have to come with somebody else on a different week. But yeah, so we're gonna do that, run it for as long as we can run it, and the odds are we'll probably have opportunity for some more folks to join in. My guess is we probably do a couple of these as the course of the season goes on. But yeah, so we're looking for 12 of you. If you want to just reach out to Lucas and say, hey, I want to be a part. He'll hook you up, and we'll get that going, starting with the chess.com championships.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, just reach out to me. Need 12 of you. First 12 to reach out. Hey, your spot's in. And then again, $10 to enter, and then winner takes all. So whoever's the last man standing, the survivor, hey, you got $140 coming your way. 150. That's how math works. My fault. But you're going to net 140. Other than that, boys, we are at the end of the episode. Before I sign us off, anything you'd like to share to anyone watching or to each other?
No, that's awkward.
Anybody that made it to the end, thank you.
You didn't like the eyebrows, Ronnie?
It's I think this might be a little bit longer than our normal episode. But we had some stuff we wanted to chat about. Yeah, just looking forward to talking every week throughout the season, man. It's gonna be a good time, and thanks for everybody for watching, and can't wait to do it.
Absolutely. And so we are going to sign off by giving you the video of the week. If you have any video submissions you'd like to see in our podcast, please send them over to me. Be happy to share them.
Anyone whose video gets selected as the video of the podcast, I'm going to send you guys a Win Dummies sticker in the mail for participating. Appreciate it.
Okay, I love that. That's so good. This one's going to be from Tyson. If you would love to follow Tyson, if you would support Tyson, his Instagram is at Lucky13 Disc Golf. He's putting out some fun content, and this video is unlike anything you've ever seen before. It is crazy. Have you boys seen this one?
It's made its rounds. I think Disc Golf Pro Tour shared it.
Yeah, I think it was even on Jomez at this point. Yeah, but this is an awesome video, and that's how we're going to end the show. Thank you all for watching. Thank you, Tyson, for submitting the video. Catch you on the next one.
See you guys next time.